A few weeks after Tom buried Rocky, Curtis came home. Tom was at the barbecue in front of the garage when Curtis pulled into the driveway in his Suburban. When he cut the engine, it sputtered and whined. Surprised to see his son, Tom squinted at him through the cooking smoke. "Shouldn't you be at work?" "I asked for a few days off." Curtis peered around the lid of the barbecue at the grill. "Why'd you do that?" "Wanted to see you before you took off to the bush and, Rocky. Sorry I couldn't make it earlier." He stretched his arms up behind his head and twisted his body side to side. "My back fucking hurts, though. I drove straight through." Tom eyed the vehicle. "You take the Duffy Lake Road in that thing? There any snow left?" "A bit on the switchbacks. No hassle, though." Curtis's face turned soft and sympathetic. "But how are you, Dad? That must have been pretty bad doing it yourself." One of the pieces of meat was stuck to the grill, and Tom worked at it with a pair of tongs. He shrugged. The shot had been clean. "Had to be done." "You could have taken him to the vet." Tom pointed toward the Suburban with his tongs. "How long has your truck been making that noise?" The three of them, Tom, Curtis, and Erin, the girl out of her room for the first time that day, sat elbow to knee at the kitchen table. To make the food go around, Tom rustled up a pasta and cucumber salad and shared the meat between them. They ate in silence until Erin reached across the table for the ketchup, revealing a blackened thumbnail. "What did you do to your thumb?" Curtis asked. "Unlucky with the hammer. I was trying to put a shelf up in my room." "You what?" said Tom. "Why didn't you get Dad to do it?" asked Curtis. Tom got up with his plate and scraped the bones into the garbage, hiding a smile that Erin would mistake for sarcasm, spurring her to bolt like a deer to her room. In spite of the injury, he was glad that she had identified something she needed and hadn't asked for help. And when he thought about it, she hadn't asked him to do anything for her in a very long time. Even if it was only because she didn't want him around, he welcomed this hardening, this growing of teeth and claws. Tom appreciated having Curtis home. It had been a rare thing in the few years since he'd gone. But his bag in the hallway, the emotional hang of his face, it was too much. His turning up unexpectedly brought a strangeness to the house, the feeling of something being different. After dinner, in search of a job that he could do with precision, with an empty head, Tom went into the basement and got his long rifle out of the gun cupboard so he could clean it. Mixed with the hollow hum of television chatter, the comfortable rhythm of Curtis and Erin's conversation floated down to Tom through the vent under the ceiling. He removed the bolt and clip, then secured the rifle to the table by tightening the barrel in a vise and supporting the buttstock on a rubber block. From a cabinet under the stairs, he took out a neatly packed tackle box that contained cleaning instruments and cans of Croyle oil. He laid an old towel on the table next to the rifle and placed the instruments on it, one by one. Erin and Curtis were laughing up there, hard, maybe even at Tom's expense. They were so easy together, could hurl mean jokes at each other and not get hurt. Curtis could behave with her in a way that Tom would never dare, could pull her up when she was doing something stupid, and she wouldn't hate him for it. He laced a small patch of white flannelette with cleaning solvent, folded it over the pointed tip of a jag rod, and pushed the rod through the barrel. Now a grayish blue, the flannelette popped out of the muzzle and fell off the end of the jag. He repeated this with squares of clean flannel until the cloth came out white, unsoiled by residue. He taught both of his kids to shoot when they were young.